Hello and welcome to step 5 of stage 3. Open your file. So within this stage we're going to add pretty much a cool roof curtain walling system to this roof. If you're wondering where our other models are gone, simply go down to your graphic attributes bar, select the light bulb and you can see where they are, but we've hidden them for now just to make it easier for you. So deselect the light bulb. Zoom into our crazy roof, hover over your crazy roof, select it so it goes blue, then go edit in place, select the face again, and you will see right at the very top where the user interface has gone green, we've got divide surface. So if you click this button, you'll notice that we now have quite a cool square / rectangular pattern where curtain walling roofing can go. We can control this by simply going to the top in the options bar. So at the moment we've got a U grid, we've got a number of 10, but we can change that to a fixed distance. So if we select here, distance, and we'll make this 2 meters. And on the other one, rather than a V grid, we'll go to fixed distance, press that little dot there, and we'll make this 5. And then as soon as you click into the space, you will see what has been updated. If you select it again, you will notice in the properties palette it says no pattern. We can even change this. So we have like half step, 3/4 step, we have arrows, we have hexagons. See what a hexagon looks like, there you go. We have octagons, octagon rotate, we have rectangles, we have checkerboard, we have triangles, etc, etc. What we're going to do is choose the rectangle because it currently works with our 2 meters by 5 meter grid. With the surface selected, you will notice that our user interface has a couple of buttons. Now at present we have the rectangular shown in our properties palette, and here if we press this button hide pattern, it will actually not show the rectangular tool. Now if we select surface, that's the actual grid that we've created, which is the rectangular. So you can control it on and off here. So that could have been a completely different, it could have been octagon, and if I press hide the pattern, there you go, and then press surface, there you go, you know exactly what's going on. Now what we're going to do is going to create a custom grid. So if we select the top of the view cube, and we have 2 ways of turning off the V grid. We can go back up to the options bar and choose a number or distance, and we can change distance here, but also we can make it none. So in the properties palette over here, you have V grid, fixed distance, we can change that to none, and you will notice that it's disappeared. But additionally, we have the button right at the top to turn it on and off here, which is quite quick. Now with this still selected, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a couple of diagonal lines through it to create a custom grid. So we go up to the draw section, choose line, make sure chain is ticked, then we go to level 1. Once you do that, you'll be able to use the tool. So what we really want to do is pretty much do what I have on the screen. Do some diagonals. So it's like that, then escape twice to exit the command. Okay, so nothing's selected. What we're wanting to do is now select our main surface. Then we go up to the top button and we have intersect. So we'll use the main intersect button, which is the top one. And then what we do is we select our lines like that. And then we go up top and you have 2 different ticks and 2 different crosses. We want to just press the finish one. And you will notice we have now created new intersection lines, which you can see in 3D. Now as you may have noticed, those lines that we drew are on the first floor and they're not actually attached to the geometry. However, they're like reference lines, they're always talking to it no matter what. So if we select them, and if I was to move this, you will notice that the actual 3D geometry has updated, even though it's on a completely different plane. So I can select this one here, move it, and you will notice exactly what's going on. So we don't really want those lines in our model. So with them selected, we can go over to our properties palette, and there's a little graphics button that says visible, the tick box. If we deselect it, they are now invisible, currently dotted because they're selected, but if you press in negative space, you will notice that they're still dotted, but it's a good idea for you to know where they are. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is add some curtain walling to this grid. So we go to the Insert tab, we go to Load Family. Your library will open, but we need to go to the additional files that we've given you. So that might be on your desktop or etc. So I'll let you find that. Okay, so once you've found your additional files, you should have two families in there, a diamond and a rectangle. I'd like you to select both with a Shift key and then press Open. Once they're loaded, I would like you to select your surface grid, and then in your properties palette, in the properties selector, the first one I'd like you to try is the diamond panel. It might take a little while to load. Once they're loaded, you'll see exactly kind of the geometry that has been created. However, that was just an example. We don't want that in here, we actually want the rectangular panel. So press Ctrl Z, so it goes back to a blank grid. Select the surface again. Now we'll choose rectangular panel. Again, it might take a while to load. Once loaded, if you click in negative space, you can see exactly what geometry has been formed. Now, as you can see on your screen and mine, we have some pretty dodgy details. See, some of the mullions are just cut. There's some very strange things going on. Look, mullion disappears here. The reason why this is happening is because we currently have the curtain walling system, the adaptive family that's in here, as partial. So if you select your surface, and you'll notice in the properties palette under constraints we have border tile, and it's currently set at partial. If we put that to overhang, it might take a little while to load. You'll notice that where our perimeter was of the actual design and where it was cutting, it now longer doesn't cut these panels. So we can even take them away. So if we go back over to our properties palette and put it at empty, you will notice that all the areas that were problematic have now disappeared. Now, staying in the top view of your view cube, what we're going to do now is actually bring in an individual panel and place it with 4 points. So we go over to our project browser, we open up the families section, we open up the curtain panels section, then we open up rectangular panel section, and we're going to use the verge glass. What we'll do is we drag it into the model space area, and you will notice that I have and on your screen we have a current window of 1 point. What we're going to do is we're going to place it with 4 points. So if we go to the end point here and then click once, and then if we go down to the end face and then click again, and if we stay on that line and click here and then go back up to our other mullion and click there, and if we press escape twice to exit the command and then rotate our 3D, you can see exactly what we've created. Now, as this is only a demo, and you can see we've got a bit of a funky angle going there, the more you muck around with it, the more you can actually create some more crazy geometries. I'll let you do this in your own time, but for now let's finish up, and if we close the 3D and do not save, we will see you in the next one.